Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank all of you so much for listening. Please subscribe and click on that like button. Tell a friend. Well, Piston fans, it's getting close. The schedule was just released this afternoon, and I'm so excited. Our guys are going to start playing. Training camp opens, I think, September 29th. The Hall of Fame game is September 5th and 6th. And we got 16 nationally televised games compared to, I think, we had one or two last year. And I think that one of them was NBA TV. So it's debatable whether you can count that for a national TV televised game. But yeah, we have two on NBC and four on ESPN. And six on Peacock and four on Prime, and we get to play on Martin Luther King Day, which is always a big deal that they get. We didn't make Christmas or we didn't make opening day, but that's where they put the most um, the teams that are going to be watched the most popular teams, not the best teams, the most popular teams. So, but we open against the Bulls on October 22nd. Then we travel down to the Rockets, and they should be it should be a big game. That's my favorite team to watch, other than the Pistons. So we're going to go down there the 24th of October and play them. We don't open at home until October 26th. We play at Sunday at 3:30. It's the only afternoon game, but we play the Celtics, so they shouldn't be too tough. Cool thing though, that's the Lions had their bye that day. So Piston fans and Lion that are both Lion fans and Piston fans like I am, you don't have to miss out on one to watch the other. So that that worked out great. And I know they always a lot of people like to make a big deal about back to backs, and so it does matter. I mean, I guarantee it matters if you play back to back, and if you have the advantage if one team's playing back to back and the other team's not playing back to back, it's a huge advantage. So we have 14. Some teams have 16, but the average is 14.4. So we're just a little bit below average, which is good. And then we have the rest advantage 13 times, and we have the disadvantage 12 times. So it's miraculous that the NBA can make this schedule and try to keep everything that balanced. It's hard, but in the NBA Cup, we got November 8th, we play at the Nets. So our two road games are two games that are more winnable. We play at the Nets and at the Celtics. So we play home against the Sixers, and who knows? Embiid might not be hurt by then. By November 14th, we play the 76ers at home. Then we play at the Celtics on the 26th of November. And then we play the Magic at home. And my hope is that that's for the Cup, or, to advance to the tournament, that we would win our pool if we win that game. It could come down to that. And I got tickets to that game, so I'm excited for that. So, yeah, it's just going to be an exciting season. I'm just so pumped up. Can't wait for it to get started. You don't ever want to wish your life away. But I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to go through, you can go through the whole schedule. It's out there. You can get it online. But just to see what you think of my schedule. So I got to pick 10 games, and it's very hard. And some teams, like, I don't know if you're aware that they start charge way more for some teams than other teams. And so like the Lakers and the Warriors they got tiers. They got the platinum and the diamond and the gold and the silver and whatever. I don't know what they're called. And I try to find the tiers so I could go over those with you guys. But some of them don't make sense. The people that make those up, that work for the Pistons, sometimes aren't very smart. For example, the Hornets. The Hornets. I thought, oh, I could go to that game because that's cheap, and they got LaMelo and they got Con Knipple and they got Brandon Miller, who I really wanted the Pistons to be able to draft when he got drafted that year. I still think he'd be the perfect fit for us, but um, anyway, I thought that would be a cheap game, but I was wrong. That there are other teams way better than them that were more expensive, so a lot of it doesn't make sense. The Oklahoma City, there's like 10 teams that are more expensive than to get Oklahoma City. So if you want to see a good game, we play OKC on February 25th. It might be a Wednesday or something, but still, they're cheaper than getting tickets to the Magic, or I don't know what other teams, but a lot of the other teams, their tickets are cheaper. So I'm gonna run through my teams and see what you think. So I got the Cup final. The last game that we play in the NBA Cup is November 28th against the Magic, and that's going to be a rivalry. We got into it with them last year. There's some bad blood there, and two up and coming teams, and everybody sees us and the Magic fighting it out for the third, fourth, fifth place, sixth places, right in there. So that's a big one. I ended up getting the Bucks. Like the Bucks were cheaper than the Hornets, so and it's on a Saturday, and I live over 4 hours away, so I got the Bucks on December 6th, and again, I hope Giannis doesn't get hurt by then. So then I got the Knicks. So first time we play the Knicks is January 5th. And that's obviously that's a rivalry after the playoffs last year. So I'm excited about that. Then I got the Rockets. And again, if I could pick any game to watch, it would be the Rockets. Even before they got Durant. Now they got Durant. So that's really going to be a huge game. So I'm pumped for that. Then I got the Spurs. I got tickets for the Spurs last year just because I want to see Wemby. Wemby is just a freak of nature. They call him an alien or whatever, but he is amazing. And now they have um, another Dylan Harper. They got another great rookie, and they had Rookie of the Year last year, Stephen Castle. So they should be fun. So that's February 23rd. I'm going to that game. Then 2 days later, I'm going to the Oklahoma City game, the 25th of February. I got tickets to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are way overpriced, but I think I ended up getting them because they were on a Friday, and I want to see Ja. There's how many players are more exciting? Ja has all of his problems, and he gets hurt a lot, so that could be kiss of death there. And um, then I got the Wolves, so we got a little bit of rivalry with the Wolves, and they got obviously Anthony Edwards. They got a really great team. So I got the cheap game. So the Pelicans, we play the Wolves on April 2nd. But I got the Pelicans. They play April 26th. It's no March 26th. We play the Pelicans. It's way cheaper. It's like half the price of any other ticket that I got. So I forgot to mention I got the Hawks. So the Hawks would play February 1st, and so I'm going to go see the Pistons play the Hawks. I think the Hawks are going to be one of those rising teams that's going to be way better than last year. They added Porzingis, Jalen Johnson's coming back, and he is an all-star in the making. And they got a real good team. Zachary Ricochet is coming on. They got Aneke Okongwu. He's tough. So anyway, that's my 10 games. I don't know what you think about it, but I passed on the Lakers and the Warriors because they're so expensive. And a few years ago, I got tickets for my grandkids to go see the Warriors play and get there, pay double, at least double of what a lot of games are, just to see Steph play. And he's healthy, but he don't play because it's the second of a back-to-back, and he was there in his sweatpants, smiling and walking around. But they don't give you your money back if you get a game to watch like the Pelicans game was so cheap. But if Zion plays, they got a lot of I love Trey Murphy, so they got a lot of good players, and that would be a fun game to watch. So anyway, um, yeah, tickets are ridiculous. So I got 10 game package, not that great of seats, and it's like almost $3,000. So it's just tickets are going crazy for concerts. It's not. I hate it. I went on. And I thought, well, I should go to one Lions game this year, and the seats in the corners and not even good seats are like $500 for not even good seats. And I understand they have to make money because they only have 8 or 9 home games, and the Pistons have 41. The Tigers still charge a lot for some of their better seats, and they have 81 home games. So, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the roster. And we signed Colby Jones, and it was like everybody's been talking all the time, including me, some that I wanted a backup four, and we don't have a backup four, and we don't have a backup point guard. And so everybody's been, we had 2 open roster spots left. Instead, we signed Colby Jones, who's a 2 or a 2-3, and we signed him to a 2-way contract. But what this shows you is that Trajan's philosophy is he's going to give all the reps to these young guys. He's going to give the reps, to Cade and Ivy and Asar and Stu and Duran and Holland and Tobias and Levert and Duncan Robinson. So that's 10 guys, or it's 9 guys, I guess. So that's then we got Sasser, and so anyway, those 9 guys are going to play a bulk of the minutes. And so instead of signing a four, obviously people have been talking about it in the Piston community about how Holland, he's put on 15 pounds of muscle. There's pictures, shows the scales, and he looks really good in summer league, so he could play there. Sauer could play the four. There's a lot of things that can happen, but they want to just spread the minutes. I'm going to do another podcast. I'm just going to break down the minutes. It's 48 minutes times 5. That's how many minutes there are in a game, and I'm just going to go through that. But if you give Cade, Ivy, Asar, and Duran close to 30 minutes, and Tobias close to 30 minutes, that just really limits the rest of the minutes. And then if you want to play Levert and um, Duncan Robinson. So anyway, it's good. I'm so excited to see the schedule come out. I was disappointed. I had that strategy to get those seats that were in the corner that were. So if you get seats in the section, I always try to get the seats that are closest. So the seats are like the rows are like 14 or 16 seats wide. So I try to get the seat right close to the aisle that's closest to the center of the court. And I've done that in the past and pretty successful. Then another thing happens that if you are in there's a price break between like row 12 and row 11. So if you sit in seats 12, it could be a lot cheaper than row 11. So, and even if you sit like on the aisle in section 119, if you go across the aisle to section 120, the seat right across the aisle from you is like $50 more on the average. So yeah, I don't know what to do with the prices. Like I said, are so expensive. And the other bad thing is I will miss being able to put my podcast. I like to do my podcast right after every game, and I won't be able to do that. But I am excited that we got respect with the national televised games, and I'm still not sure about all this stuff with the streaming, with Peacock and the NBA app, and it's just I hate all this stuff. I'm just an old coach, and so all this technology, and they just can't make it simple. Hopefully, I can just get League Pass and see all the games. But thank you for listening. I know I haven't been on for a while. There's not been a lot of news going on, and like I said, Colby Jones he's tough. That's certainly a culture guy. He is an elite defender, so we can throw him in there if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going off or Luke is going off. We can stick him in there, and plus the mentality that he's going to bring to the team. So that's why we got him. And so he's 32. I mean, there's why would we bring on a 32-year-old wing that can't shoot? So I think it's just for that toughness, and maybe in a pinch if we need to, like I said, lock somebody down. But in the meantime, he's going to be at practice every day, fighting and battling, and that wears off. That's contagious. So thank you for listening. Be the reason that someone feels happy, and go Pistons.